up, YouTube? Mark W. Flockhart today. Today and tomorrow. It's going to be me for a while. I want to talk about something very, very interesting that I saw a video about by the all-powerful Gary Vaynerchuk. And it was one of multiple videos that I watch of his. In that video, he talked about the shift of marketing and something that kind of scared me a little bit. And it should scare you guys too if you're in Amazon or you're going to be in Amazon. So I'm going to go through that. It's definitely something you need to know. And then I'm going to go through, if we have time left, I'm going to go use Amaze Owl again today. There's an update coming for him this Saturday, so that should be, hopefully I'm interested to see what that does, because one of my biggest gripes is the delay and slowing of waiting for things. They said it's going to speed it up. Anyways, so after that, we might look into some products, and I'll show you just some niched down research, something a little bit different than what we normally do, instead of just kind of finding some random products, right? We're going to do some personal, in-depth product review or research. So what I mean, what's this whole title, this gotta check it out, gotta know what's going on. So there's a conference that Gary does, and it really talks about, and this was more of his recent ones, it talks about marketing. And one of the reasons he pushes so hard the social media marketing, Gary, what is it called, VaynerMedia, is because it's underpriced drastically. Right now, one of the biggest, most powerful ways you can advertise your product is through influencers. You've got pay-per-click, you've got influencers, you've got Facebook, right? Those are the main things that you can do. Instagram posts, YouTube videos. If you're selling baby hats, then you're going to contact all the family channels that just had a baby that have 500,000 subscribers, and then you're going to do a giveaway with them, and that's going to promote your product, right? Because then people are going to click on it. They're going to, maybe you'll collect emails from them by filling out an email thing, and they can win the baby cap, the new coolest baby cap, right? But you're going to get sales from that. So that's one piece. The other piece is Facebook, which is a huge topic. That's a major player in advertising everywhere. Facebook especially. If you go back and you look at what Gary did with his, if you know him, he's basically $100 million revenue. So he's profiting $100 million, I think. A lot, right? He makes a lot of money. And one of the things that he did is he grew his parents' business called Wine Library from 3 million to 50 million. 500 million. I don't know. He grew a lot, right? So I don't even think of those numbers. I just, in my head, I hear 3 million, that's a lot already. And then 50 million or 500 million, whatever it is. I just hear high numbers, right? And he did that in a few years. Well, it was because at the time he was following trends that nobody was following. He was doing email marketing, which was huge, and that was helping them grow the wine list. But they were sending 3-4 emails a day to people. So it was like tougher to get in. But then that's when AdWords came out, and it's Google AdWords, right? And he advertised, he could pay 5 cents for any word, any keyword. I mean, if I could do that, oh my goodness, I'd start every business there was and just buy all the keywords, right? You'd be a billionaire. So he was buying for 5 cents per keyword. This wine, that wine, this wine, that wine. 5 cents, that's it. Some of those ads today, because of the popularity of it and the internet, have grown to $13 per ad word. 5 cents to $13. That's a huge margin. And that's what we're looking at again. So right now we're in kind of a golden time, which you're perfect. If you're watching this video now and it's 2018, maybe partially 2019, you need to share this with your friends. You need to let them know now is the time to learn this. Now is the time to get going, because if I can push now and get in at this lower spot, 100% you're going to make it. Right? If you just commit to it, learn it, there's no way you can fail, in my opinion. I don't think anyone could fail at this if they really just stuck with it. Same thing with just about everything you do, but you got to have a little bit of a passion for it. You got to want it. And something I've learned recently with my current job, outside of this, like work, right? I sell insurance. I've more so lost a little bit of the drive because I switched jobs. I went from, really high income, 10,000 a month, sometimes more, down to a couple thousand a month because I'm shifting from just selling month to month and never getting the renewals of it to becoming my own, agent, so to speak. And so there's a huge difference in that. And a lot of it, I've kind of not wanted to do as much work. And I'm kind of trying to get myself back into that, right? I grew it huge over here and I was the guy here. And then not so much here because I'm kind of building up something and it's more of a long term. And it's hard to see that when you're at the front gate, right? You can't see the 5 miles down the road. So what I'm saying is Facebook marketing, that is just like those keywords that they did. Right now, you can buy leads for $1.50 per click, right? Or per 1,000 impressions. That means 1,000 people, it's on their feed, it's in their post. Now, 10 of them might actually look at it in that 1,000, so you're really only getting 10, or 1,000 might look at it, right? It just depends on how grabbing your attention that ad is or how interested they are. So that price that you're paying now for anywhere from 80 cents to $3 right now, that's the categories I've kind of found the in between. That's going to be $10 to $30 2020, 2015, not 15, 2020, 2025. So that's something that you got to think of. That could potentially ruin the majority of people that are trying to do Amazon Fulfilled by Amazon down the road. Will it end it? No. Will there people that jump in 2020? Absolutely. Will they be successful? Probably a bunch of them, right? But there is going to slowly deteriorate down to lower, and lower. Right now, you're hearing these words race to the bottom, and that's because what you're seeing, and I'll show you here. I'll just pull up my screen. So you're seeing, let's go to, actually I'm on Amazon. So let's just type in just cat toys, right? So right now, you're going to find these fish. These fish are hot. So let's click on these fish. So this is called, let's see, catnip fish toy. Okay, so we're going to do that. Look at all these people that are selling this. And I've got Amazowl here to tell me what's potential, right? All of these should be the potential in this category because I typed in the exact phrase. But there is one that's showing potential. So there's tons of these. These things were $15, $18 a piece when I first saw these. But look at, they're 11, 12, 11, 8, 9, 6, let's see, $4, 18. There you go, a full priced one. $5.99, $10. I'm just rounding off. Add-on. So you gotta be careful. If your price goes under $10, you could be an add-on. $13.99. So the problem is they're racing to the bottom because there's nothing different. Look at this ad right here. Let me scroll up here. Look at this one. This fish here and these fish. Yeah, there's a little difference, but if you scroll through them all, you're going to find most of these are the exact same fish. They're just that you can buy up to like 7 different types, and they just kind of mix and match them to try to get people. So like this 3 versus these 4, right? So why would I buy these 4 when I can buy these 3 for $5.99 and they've got better rating? I'm going to buy these 100% of the time because these guys. I mean, so what? I lost this guy. Or actually, I'm sorry, I lost 2 of them. There's 5 of them. So I lost 2 of them, but I could spend $12 versus $19 and buy, 2 sets. I don't even need it. 3's good enough for my cat, right? I don't have a cat, by the way. Anyways, that's what I mean. These guys are racing to the bottom because they came in at a $20 price point. Someone had a great idea. It blew up, just like your fidget spinners. And everybody else started joining in. I'll mix them with this. I'll put this one in that. I'm differentiating, which thought you were, but you're not. You're just adding another product. You're going to have to lower the price because 30 other people just joined today. 40 other people joined tomorrow. 80 people are coming in the next week that are just selling these exact same things. They're adding a little gift with it, right? That's not enough. So they're dropping the price. You have to compete with that. And if you were the top guy, they're going to just chip away and force you to come down It might even be slow and little, but you're going to have to bring the price down because eventually the cost to buy the cheap one, even if they know it breaks twice as often as yours, they're going to buy the cheaper one because it looks the same. So that's what I mean. So right now, you're already starting to see that. That is one of the scares that people have with Amazon Fulfilled by Amazon is they can't find or they can't just think of, okay, how do I differentiate myself between all these guys? Where do I go from here? It's going to get worse because of right now, that's just one thing. That's just one piece of the business. And I'm not trying to scare you guys. Honestly, I hope you guys do it because then I have someone to talk to. I'm doing it. It's very simple. So what it is you're going to, right now it's getting a little bit more difficult with some of the stuff, right? The little chintzy stuff. That's why you got to build a brand so that people can kind of, when I say brand, I don't mean a logo. It's not markslogo.com, it's not the eagle with the wings flying over. They remember that logo. That's not a brand. It's the category, so to speak. You've got to build products around a specific product so that when they see your fish item, they want to buy the other piece that goes with it, the extra string that goes with it, all the other accessories that kind of complement one, and you kind of build a housing around that because then they know, I remember this one, it had really good quality and all these little accessories were super cheap. That was, what brand was that? And then they look it up, they find it, right? So that, and then eventually they will recognize the name and the logo and all that stuff, but that's probably the last thing you're going to think of. That's what I mean by brand. So for those people that are going to come in 2025 or whenever, they're still going to make it. It's going to be tougher because they're going to have to pay more for those ads, assuming that it has grown like Gary thinks it will. And I see that happening. We're starting to slowly lean towards video advertising. Notice how popular that is. That's becoming larger and larger. And then eventually we're going to start slowly moving away from that. I think they're going into podcasts. That's a huge thing that we didn't do 3, 4, 5 years ago that we're doing today. We never used to do the video ads, but now we're starting to do those today. So as it evolves, it is going to be more difficult to buy your way into those top spots on Amazon. You could have a product, you put it out, it's the first one out there, you're taking that risk, right? It's not an easy way to research it, and you could blow up, right? That could be 2025, 2030, whatever. This can happen at any point in time. There's a little bit of luck to that, and you could have that major product. And if you watch my last video, I talk a little bit about that and how it's great if it happens, but it's not the norm and it's not what you should count on. So that's what I wanted to go over today. I wanted to go through and explain why Amazon is slowly starting to die, although that's only for the people that are lazy. And I kid you, I do not lie about this. I want to be lazy. And that's the way I started this. And I expect that most of you will do that too, because I want the quick money. I wanted the one product that would make me $100,000 a year. Now I'm more focused on, okay, how do I earn, and I'm trying to build and earn enough money to invest into it. Okay, I'm starting to realize, okay, I bought a product that could explode, and I'm doing great with it, in my opinion, but I'm really close, low profit. I mean, $1 per item is probably close to what I'm doing. I almost don't want to look at it because I'm afraid that it might be a negative 50 cents or something, right? Either way, I want the inventory gone, and I want to sell the product because then I can decide if I want to reorder it. But right now, I'm facing one of the issues where if I do continue with the product I have a $4,000 to $5,000 bill just to reorder. And I don't have that much. Even if I sold all of them for a $5 to $8 profit, I still wouldn't have enough to reorder the products. Plus, when I go out of stock, then I gotta wait and kind of build it back up because it's going to slowly start to fall. So there's a lot of things involved. I'm not trying to scare you guys in this. I just want to go over why I think Amazon is slowly starting to go out. I had a lady yesterday or the day before that asked, do you think I can still be successful in Amazon? I absolutely 100% believe if you are watching this video now, you can be successful. And I think it's still very easy. I think but it takes work, right? You have to get into it. I recommend getting into a product. Jump in. go full force. Buy cheap, go cheap, don't go big. Go cheap, do a little bit of research, realize 8 months down the road that you chose the wrong product, which is fine, right? That's okay. It's part of business. You lost, right? Or you get lucky and you made it. You chose the wrong product. You should have done more research. You should have done this. You should have done that. You should have all over yourself. And if you're worried about that thing, get help. I'm more so just trying to put my thing out there. Not really at the moment. I'm not really trying to pull anything from you. I don't want anything from you guys right now. I just purely want to give my advice. And I'm partially talking to the future myself here today to kind of look back 5-10 years from now and say, oh my goodness, I can't believe I knew that back then, and that's amazing. Or I wish I would have done this differently. So I can kind of look back and see where I came from. That's all I wanted to go over today. I think that was enough for today. I'm not going to go dig into products. I think maybe on Friday, maybe we'll dig a little bit more. Let me know, you guys, if you did get good tips and advice out of this. Give me a thumbs up if you want to learn more and follow my journey. I would love to have you on board. Definitely subscribe. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Do you think 2 to 3 years from now it's going to be more difficult for people to be on Amazon? Do you think that there's just so many people joining and quitting? Because if you're just jumping at the catfish thing, you're not going to make it very long, right? If you're not willing to learn the process. And as I mentioned in the last video, advertising is the number one thing that you're going to have to learn that you may not like. It's entailed. It's a lot of numbers. It's a lot of watching the algorithm and then kind of tweaking it, right? I don't like that part of it, but I'm willing to do that part of it. So let me know, what do you guys think? Do you think in 3 to 5 years, Amazon's going to be around as far as for the FBA people? Do you think, the advertising is going to skyrocket, or do you think not? When, as Gary says, when Coca-Cola and Pepsi and Budweiser and all these big companies who aren't doing social media, that's going to raise, when they start putting their $50 million, $500 million worth of advertising into this market on Facebook and social media, is that going to raise our prices to the point where the little guy in those categories doesn't have much of a shot? So I hope you liked the video. I will see you guys in the next one.